Hey, what's going on, good people? It's your main man, Doc Massard, the one and only from the Quiet Part Loud Show. Hey, look, in these crazy times when the country is super divided, I think it's time we can laugh with each other and at each other. And so let's have a racial game. I know some of y'all already mad, like immediately. Look, this game is not to stir up any beef between the races, but everybody's biased in some kind of way, and your mind automatically thinks that somebody looks like something when you hear a description. The Breakfast Club does a game like this when Charlemagne does, what race is it, right? And he'll describe something, and then you got to try to figure out what race the person is that did this thing. We're going to play a game very similar to that. I'm going to tell you a scenario. You don't tell me. You don't tell your friends. You just tell yourself what your brain pictured up. What image came into your brain when you hear these scenarios? In the first round, it's just going to be one-off scenarios. I'm going to tell it, and you say to yourself what you think you see. And then in the second round, we're going to go into two scenarios that sound very similar with slight differences. And then again, you tell yourself what you see. And again, this is not to start up any racial beef, because I think what you're going to find out is that we as Americans are all kind of terrible in our own little ways, and we're a little bit more similar than you might think. So let's have some fun with it. Let's get things started. Okay, scenario one. A man with 100 pair of Air Jordan sneakers living in his apartment is late on his rent and his car note. What do you think that person looked like? All right. A woman who kisses her dog in the mouth and calls that dog her baby. What do you think that person looks like? Here's another one. A politician gets involved in a bribery scandal involving airplanes and air travel. What do you think that person looked like? All right. A football coach father refuses to hug his son because he believes the hugs will make his son gay. What do you think that person looks like? All right. A group of people are congregated outside of a Home Depot early in the morning waiting for work. What do you think them people look like? Here goes a tough one. American loves fried chicken. What do you think that person look like? All right. Round two is where we take the two different scenarios that sound very similar with just a slight adjustment, and then you're going to go ahead and decide who you think did this. All right, let's get started. All right. A woman being loud and disrespecting employees at a local nail salon while wearing flip-flops and pajama pants. What do you think that woman looks like? Scenario, a different woman being loud and disrespecting the employee at a local Whole Foods. She's not wearing pajama pants. She's holding a small dog. What do you think that woman looks like? All right, this one's for you, Florida. Local man arrested for robbing a liquor store with a stolen gun. What do you think that man looks like? Another man arrested for robbing a liquor store using a live alligator. What you think he looks like? It's gonna get pretty sensitive right here. A man pulls a gun on a teenager for stepping on his shoes. What you think that man looked like? Here's another one. A man pulls a gun on a local teenager for stepping on his lawn. What do you think that man looks like? A large group of people steal all the valuables inside of a store. Another large group of people steal all the valuables in a country. What do you think the first people look like? What do you think the second people look like? All right, folks, find a scenario, right? This one's kind of long, so we're just going to read it off. But there is an American that has taken to social media and is spouting off all day and night about how you cannot trust the government, you cannot trust the FBI, you cannot trust celebrities because they out here being nasty and doing weird things with kids. And they want you to know that regardless if anybody else sees them or agrees with it, they know what's up. They see what's happening. right? They even have their favorite political person or athlete or celebrity that has been accused of doing things like SA or other violent crimes. And yet they still stand behind this person. They still feverishly support this person, yet they feel how they feel and they hate on who they seem to hate on, right? But that person, by people in their community and outside of their community, has been called racist, has been called a conspiracy theory, as a conspiracy theorist, has been called all kinds of things in and out of their group. But that person just swears that they see what you don't, and they want to make you aware. What do you think that person looks like? You think they MAGA? You think they super liberal? You think it's a Nation of Islam person? You think they pro-Palestine, pro-Israel, Bible bumper, super Christian, Mormon? What do you think they are? Kind of tough, isn't it? Yeah, that was tough. Look, guys, in the end of it, we all children of God, right? And so whether you believe in God or you don't, whether you believe in people or you don't, maybe you one of them furry type cats or whatever, we all still in this thing together, right? You ain't got to vote how I vote. You ain't got to think how I think or eat the same food I do. But guess what? We still all got blood running in our veins, and we're supposed to be doing this life together. So none of the things that we do is 100% good or 100% bad. And nobody, no particular racial group or segment of population or gender or political affiliation is all good or all bad. And because of that, we all kind of jacked up in a way. So show some grace, show some humility, and stop being so mad all the damn time. If we can laugh with each other, I think we can live with each other. I'm gonna holler at your boy.